Trump trolled Taylor Swift and mocked her for being booed at the Super Bowl. America is moving on. Liberalism is lost. Travis Kelce style liberalism is over, ladies and gentlemen, as Donald Trump is back in power. Apparently, Taylor Swift was shown on the Jumbotron at the Super Bowl and people were booing her. Let's take a look. Donald Trump tweeted out, the only one that had a tougher night than the Kansas City Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed out of the stadium. MAGA is very unforgiving. The president reignited the bitter feud after making an early exit as the Kansas City Chiefs crumbled against the Philadelphia Eagles. Trump shared videos of Swift being heckled alongside this one of him receiving huge applause. Swift and Trump have a history of bad blood, with the president last year declaring, "I hate Taylor Swift" on social media after she endorsed Harris. So Taylor Swift getting booed is a combination of different things. One, because there's a lot of like football gatekeepers out there who are like, oh, Taylor Swift brought a bunch of chicks to like this sport. I hate them. Then there's also the Eagles fans that will boo anyone and everyone that they've decided is against the Eagles. And Taylor Swift obviously dating Travis Kelce means that she's a beacon of anti-Eagle fandom. And therefore, they're going to boo everyone. They would boo Donald Trump, too. Eagles fans don't like Donald Trump either because Donald Trump is pro Kansas City Chiefs. I really hated during the election when people kept saying that Taylor could get her fans to vote for Kamala. Like, those are white women. At least 50% of them voted for Trump if they voted at all. Oh, yeah. No, more than 50%. Donald Trump is the reason why the Chiefs lost, I think, and the Eagles actually destroyed them. I will continue saying that over and over again. Okay. What is this? Is this Lib Cope? Trump at the Super Bowl was soundly booed and hissed, heard clearly international coverage and commented on in multiple countries. US TV networks overlaid canned cheers instead. Oh my God, that's amazing. Liberals are so funny. Donald Trump is literally more popular than at any other point in his career, in his tenure. Okay. That's wild. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if many football fans were cheering for Donald Trump. Okay. I'm getting tons of fake booing clips on TikTok. It's gross. I mean, who cares? Who cares? Not according to recent Pew polling. No, he has like 53% approval rating. What are you talking about? Interesting numbers in the new CBS poll. Trump is up 10 plus in approval with voters under 30. A stadium full of millionaires. Wake up, everybody. There are people in this country that are sick and tired of the incompetence of the government. So even if Trump is doing bad things, right, like things that will inevitably lead to bad results for the broader electorate, they still see this as like, well, at least he's doing something. People don't have the capacity to look at these actions and analyze it as a bad thing. And especially when you don't have any counter messaging and that the party that is supposed to be the counterbalance to Donald Trump's actions are incredibly unpopular and are not really doing anything, seemingly, okay? Especially on the heels of a decrepit carcass leading the momentum, leading the Democratic Party. Yes, a lot of people just go, oh, well, he's doing something. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something and I like it. That's it. People have a lot of anger and resentment towards gridlock. They hate it so much. No, it's just that America's naturally right wing. That's ridiculous. Okay. No country is just naturally right wing. Please. When you say decrepit carcass, do you mean Biden or Schumer? I mean, all. Yes. My answer to that question is yes. I need you to understand that. This is not a reaction to like Donald Trump doing things that he promised that we really like. It's more so a reaction to Donald Trump doing things in general and also consistently communicating that he's doing things. This is Cope. Americans have only received mass deportations from Trump's promises and his approval rating is going up. They're naturally right wing. Number one, there is no such thing as like a naturally reactionary disposition that would require you to just completely cast aside any sort of materialist analysis. That would require you to say that like these people are unsavable, unsalvageable. Americans need to be left in the dust. They are just evil. It is inherently liberal ways of thinking, good, bad dynamics, things of that nature. Okay. It is very stupid. It is not correct. No one is like intrinsically good or intrinsically bad. Okay. People do bad things, people do good things, but they are motivated by their social conditioning and motivated by their material realities. Assuming an incredibly nihilistic position like this will lead you astray. You will find yourself in the throes of reactionary sentiment if this is something that you personally believe. That's number one. Number two, time and time again, I have shown you that Americans are actually historically in favor of immigration for obvious reasons. This is a nation comprised entirely of immigrants with the exception of Native Americans. Everyone that lives here on U.S. soil now that is a natural-born U.S. citizen actually can trace their lineage to a ancestor that was not on this continent with the exception of Native Americans, whether it be by way of chattel slavery and the forcible extraction of men and women from African soil, okay, or whether it be the massive influx of migration patterns that have basically designed this country. That's it. Go far back enough. With the exception of Native Americans, every single person currently living inside of the United States of America has an ancestor that is not from the United States of America. So it's idiotic. And of course, the American opinions reflect that reality. That is precisely the reason why I kept maintaining the position over and over again, that if you scratch the surface of all of the information that shows, 60% of Americans want mass deportations or whatever, if you actually read after that initial point, almost all of these studies show that Americans, when given two different positions, will always take the more pro-migration position. When faced with two choices, mass deportation and mass amnesty, Americans overwhelmingly and consistently have chosen mass amnesty. The issue, however, is that there is no counterbalance to the anti-immigration position from the Republican Party. That is the problem. It is that Democrats and the media have completely dropped the ball, and that the only kind of narrative you heard for the past 4 years about migration was negative. It is born out of lies. It is born out of abject lies. The idea that undocumented migrants are actually causing a lot of crimes or anything like that. Okay. And yet, if lies are the only thing that you hear and there is no counterbalance, no actual counter to this misinformation from a competent party that is supposed to be addressing these lies and combating them by saying the truth, then yes, people are inevitably going to believe that. That's it. This is what happens when there is no alternatives, seemingly no alternatives to what the Republicans are pushing for when they're the only game in town.